Chinese EV company BYD jumped in Hong Kong trading overnight. The company announced a new technology claiming it can charge an electric vehicle almost as quickly as it takes to fill a gasoline car.
Big news in the electric vehicle world. BYD, a major player in the EV market, has just revealed a groundbreaking new supercharger that works with Tesla cars, and it can charge them in just 1 minute. That's right. What used to take hours can now be done in just 60 seconds. This powerful new technology could completely change the way we think about EV charging. No more long waits at charging stations. With this move, BYD is not only challenging Tesla, but possibly leading the future of fast charging. But the real question is,
Super E platform is capable of peak charging speeds of 1,000 kilowatts.
Can Tesla catch up, or is BYD about to take over the EV game? Stay tuned as we uncover the hidden truth behind BYD's latest innovation. BYD's latest announcement. BYD has stunned the automotive industry with the announcement of its all-new Super E platform. According to the company, this is an electric vehicle platform that can charge nearly twice as fast as any EV currently on the market. During the recent live-streamed launch event, BYD's founder Wang Chuanfu stated that their team has been working tirelessly to eliminate charging anxiety for users. He explained that their ultimate goal has been to reduce electric vehicle charging times to match the speed of refueling traditional petrol cars. It was also revealed that this new Super E platform marks a significant industry milestone, as it reportedly achieves charging power at the Megawatt level, which happens to be the first in the electric vehicle world. So could this be the beginning of the end for charging anxiety? And what exactly makes this supercharger so revolutionary? To truly understand the weight of BYD's Super E platform, let's take a step back and look at how far the company has come. This might just be the beginning of what is about to be revealed. Unlike Tesla, which began as a car manufacturer before producing its own battery cells,
and EV maker Tesla's ambitions to make its charging technology a standard across the United States has hit a roadblock in the U.S. state of Texas.
BYD, which is popularly known as Build Your Dream, followed a different path. It was founded in 1995 and reportedly started as a battery manufacturing company. In 2002, it grew and became the world's leading supplier of nickel-cadmium batteries. Reports have it that BYD commands about 65% of global production. By 2012, BYD was declared responsible for producing more than half of the batteries used in mobile phones across the globe. According to reports, BYD entered the automotive industry in 2003 after acquiring Xi'an Qinchuan Automobile. Despite its background in battery technology, the company aimed to develop battery electric vehicles. However, its first vehicles were believed to be conventional combustion engine models, which was regarded by many as imitations of popular cars. Industry experts were reported to have initially mocked BYD's early vehicles for their poor build quality. Issues such as uneven paint jobs and ill-fitting doors were cited as some of the challenges to have been pointed out. Fast forward 20 years, and BYD is no longer the target of ridicule. Today, it is believed to be China's most significant automaker and is rapidly expanding its footprint in international markets. In 2024, reports have it that BYD surpassed Tesla in global electric vehicle sales, both in volume and revenue. The company reportedly earned $106 billion compared to Tesla's $97 billion.
BYD's sales last year surpassed the $100 billion mark, beating rival Tesla. Tesla's 2024 revenue, meanwhile, stood at $97.7 billion.
Its automotive division is now believed to contribute over 80% of the company's total revenue. Despite its automotive success, BYD remains a major force in battery manufacturing. It reportedly holds an 18% share of the global EV battery market, second only to KTL, which leads with 38%. A key turning point in BYD's success was believed to be the introduction of a new battery in 2020, known as the Blade battery. The BYD Han was reported to be the first vehicle to incorporate the Blade battery. Since 2021, every electric car BYD produces has been equipped with it. The company has since enhanced the battery and have brought its energy density close to that of nickel cells. Additionally, these lithium iron phosphate batteries have reportedly shown superior performance in cold weather conditions, particularly when it comes to charging efficiency. Unsurprisingly, BYD has reportedly become one of Tesla's main battery suppliers, providing battery packs for Giga Shanghai and Giga Berlin. In 2022, Tesla reportedly selected BYD as a supplier after tests showed BYD's lithium iron phosphate cells outperformed those of CATL. These results were reportedly confirmed by independent tests, which highlighted BYD's advantage in charging speed. Reports have it that Tesla receives complete battery packs from BYD, which includes thermal management systems and integrated software. BYD has continued to push battery innovation with newer designs. Now, BYD has reportedly released the latest version called Blade 2.0, which is built on BYD's latest vehicle platform, known as the Super E platform. Could it truly redefine the future of the entire automobile industry? Let's take a closer look at what was revealed. Brace up for far more exciting revelations that will blow your mind. The Super E platform. The latest BYD Supercharger is one that's believed to be capable of adding up to 400 kilometers of range in just 5 minutes. According to the company's statement, this ultra-fast charging technology is expected to transform the electric vehicle charging landscape. The lightning-fast speeds are reported to be twice as fast as Tesla's fourth-generation Supercharger cabinet launched earlier this year, and far beyond the 350 kilowatt max that other EVs in the US can currently handle. The Chinese automotive giant claims that recharging stops with vehicles built on its new Super E platform, which will be more akin to refueling at a gas station. Reports have it that BYD's new charger delivers up to 1 megawatt or 1,000 kilowatts of power, effectively doubling the peak power of Tesla's latest V4 superchargers.
Tesla's charging technology is rapidly propelling towards becoming the North American standard, signaling a major boost for the automaker's plan to expand access to its once exclusive chargers.
The official announcement came on March 17th, where the company claimed that the charger can add 2 kilometers of range per second, which marked a new milestone in EV infrastructure. According to Li Yunfei, the general manager of brand and public relations at BYD, the rollout of 4,000 such charging stations is already underway. Reports suggest that the first batch of around 500 chargers will be operational just in time for the launch of BYD's latest models, the Han L sedan and Tang L SUV, both of which have already entered pre-sale. Sources also indicate that these chargers will be part of BYD's Super E platform, a high-tech system that the company claims includes nearly 11 world-first technologies. Among them are 1 megawatt flash charging, a 30,000 RPM electric motor, and a high-voltage silicon carbide module. It was also stated that to support such high charging speeds, BYD will pair these stations with energy storage facilities, ensuring that even areas with insufficient grid power can deliver a full 1,000 kilowatt charge. According to company insiders, the key to achieving such power lies in BYD's newly redesigned Blade battery, referred to as the flash charging battery. This battery is believed to support a 10C charging rate, meaning it can theoretically be fully charged in 6 minutes, a rate currently unmatched in mass-produced EV batteries. It also reportedly supports charging voltages up to 1,000 volts and currents up to 1,000 amps, enabling the 1 megawatt output. Li Yunfei acknowledged that the technology's capabilities seem so advanced that many people doubt their authenticity. However, he emphasized that mass production has always been BYD's approach when launching new tech. He even invited skeptics to experience the technology firsthand at the company's upcoming 1,000 kilowatt charging stations. Reports also indicate that BYD doesn't see this new technology as a threat to existing charging or battery swap methods. According to Li, the goal across the industry is shared: to promote the adoption of new energy vehicles. While BYD may currently lead in certain areas, it has been suggested that other companies might eventually overtake them with superior technologies, a development BYD would reportedly welcome. As Lee put it, the road to electrification and intelligent mobility is vast, and there's enough room for all companies with strong technology and products. Now, the question is, what potential impact could the Super E platform have on the automobile industry? Hold on, because the best part is coming up. Future impact on the EV industry.
We're about 10 years away. Those EVs are well known for saving money on gas, but ADU's Now investigator Kyle Payne here with more on some hidden costs.
According to recent industry reports, the introduction of BYD's Super E platform is being hailed as a pivotal moment in the ongoing electric vehicle revolution. It's been suggested that this cutting-edge platform marks a significant leap in both charging infrastructure and vehicle performance, pushing the boundaries of what's currently possible in EV technology. Sources reveal that BYD is planning an extensive rollout of over 4,000 megawatt-capable supercharging stations across China, a move that could redefine the practicality of long-distance EV travel. Reports have it that this ambitious initiative is expected to greatly support the widespread adoption of BYD's ultra-fast charging technology by addressing one of the industry's most pressing concerns, which is the charging time. Industry observers believe that BYD now holds a substantial competitive advantage. With charging speeds that reportedly rival those of traditional petrol refueling, the Super E platform is said to set a new benchmark, offering speeds nearly triple that of current EV charging systems. This has placed considerable pressure on rival automakers, who are now expected to accelerate their own technological advancements just to keep pace. According to experts, BYD's latest platform not only enhances the performance and convenience of its own models, but also sets a precedent that could uplift the entire EV ecosystem. Reports indicate that the platform is capable of adding up to 249 miles, which is approximately 400 kilometers of range in just 5 minutes under optimal conditions. This is said to double the capability of Tesla's latest V4 Supercharger and could prove to be a turning point for many consumers still hesitant about switching to electric. In light of these breakthroughs, analysts believe BYD is positioning itself to reshape the global EV market. The automaker reportedly sold 4.2 million units in 2024 and is forecasted to reach 5 to 6 million units in 2025, which makes it a strong contender for market dominance. If the Super E platform rollout in China proves successful, it's widely believed that an international expansion will follow closely, starting with markets like the United States, which is currently the second largest EV market after China. Further reports highlight that Europe is also on BYD's radar, with countries like Germany, UK, France, and is said to have sold over 4,000 vehicles to British drivers. Despite being known for its budget-friendly pricing, with entry-level BYD EVs starting at just £26,000 compared to the $40,000-plus price tag of a Tesla Model 3, BYD is still considered Tesla's closest rival. Analysts believe that the launch of the Super E platform is likely to rattle Elon Musk, especially given recent market shifts. While BYD's stock has reportedly reached record highs, Tesla's shares have declined for 8 consecutive weeks. It's being speculated that, with pressure mounting on Tesla to lead in autonomous driving, the impressive performance of BYD's charging platform might force a strategic shift back toward its supercharging network. In essence, industry voices suggest that the supercharging race is officially on, and it may only be a matter of time before more EV players join the competition. BYD is quickly becoming a prominent player in the rest of the world. The Chinese automaker, which controls a huge percent of the electric and hybrid vehicle market in Central and South America, seems destined to become one of the largest manufacturers in the world by just simply building better vehicles than its competitors. Mila Kunis has found herself at the center of controversy surrounding Ashley Ellerin's tragic death due to her defense of Ashton Kutcher. Allegations have surfaced claiming Ashton lied to law enforcement during the investigation, prioritizing his career over reporting the crime. This has drawn criticism for potentially delaying justice and enabling the serial killer to strike again. Mila's support for Ashton, despite the damaging claims, has raised ethical questions, leading many to question the couple's integrity amid this troubling scandal. Ashton Kutcher's actions on the night of Ashley Ellerin's murder. Ashton Kutcher's behavior on the night Ashley Ellerin was murdered has become a major point of controversy, especially in light of renewed attention to his ties with Danny Masterson and Scientology. According to multiple accounts, Ashton was set to take 22-year-old Ashley to a post-Grammy Awards party on February 21, 2001, but arrived late. In his initial testimony, he claimed that he never entered her home, instead looking through a window and mistaking what he thought was spilled wine for something harmless. However, fresh allegations from former Scientologist Bixler and others suggest a more troubling series of events. Chrissy says she overheard Ashton calling Masterson from his car after allegedly walking inside Ashley's house and discovering her body. Instead of contacting the police, Ashton reportedly spent over an hour consulting his management and close associates, including Masterson, about how to handle the situation without jeopardizing his budding career. The plan, Chrissy alleges, was for Ashton to leave and attend the party alone, then later tell authorities he saw only wine on the floor before deciding Ashley was simply upset with him for being late. These claims are bolstered by researcher Aaron Smith-Levin, who cites sources within the LAPD as saying they determined Ashton was not truthful in his statements. Investigators reportedly concluded he could not have seen blood from outside the house, as he originally testified. They also purportedly found evidence of Ashton's presence inside the home, which, if true, might have introduced confusion and damaged the prosecution's ability to swiftly convict Ashley's killer, Michael Gargiulo. Given that Gargiulo went on to harm another victim before finally being caught, many critics blame Ashton's alleged lies for hindering a more rapid resolution. Mila Kunis's role in this controversy has added fuel to the fire, as she has continued to defend Ashton publicly, both in this case and more recently in support of Danny Masterson. While Mila has not given a detailed statement about Ashley's death, her steadfast loyalty to Ashton has raised eyebrows among observers who question whether she is aware of, or willing to acknowledge, the serious accusations leveled against him. They argue that her willingness to stand by Ashton no matter what casts doubt on her moral stance, given the gravity of the allegations. Bixler's allegations. Bixler's allegations have cast a new, unsettling light on Ashton Kutcher's involvement in the events surrounding Ashley Ellerin's murder, and by extension, on Mila Kunis's unwavering defense of her husband. According to Bixler, who dated Danny Masterson at the time and was involved with Scientology, she overheard a speakerphone conversation on February 21, 2001, in which Ashton allegedly revealed he had walked into Ashley's home and found her lifeless body. Yet instead of calling the police, he spent over an hour consulting with Masterson and his management team about how best to handle the situation. The supposed outcome was that Ashton continued on to a party without reporting Ashley's death, reportedly prioritizing his public image over immediate concern for the crime scene. This version of events directly contradicts Ashton's testimony, in which he claimed he only peeked through a window, mistook blood for spilled wine, and left when Ashley failed to answer the door. Bixler, however, accuses Ashton of having lied both to investigators and in court, suggesting that his testimony helped create reasonable doubt during the prosecution of Michael Gargiulo, the man eventually convicted of killing Ashley. As shared by researcher Aaron Smith-Levin, some LAPD detectives concluded Ashton's statement did not align with physical evidence, such as the sightlines from the window or blood spatter found at the scene. Critics argue these allegations point to a troubling possibility, that Ashton's alleged dishonesty about his actions might have hampered the investigation, allowing Gargiulo to remain free long enough to commit another murder before he was finally caught. The question of why Ashton would risk perjury naturally gives way to the possibility he was under pressure from Danny Masterson. Masterson, a longtime Scientologist, has been suggested by some observers to hold damaging information about Ashton's behavior that night, implicating the church's culture of secrecy in the process. Mila Kunis's steadfast support of Ashton throughout these accusations has stirred its own share of controversy. Some find her loyalty admirable, while others criticize her for seemingly overlooking serious allegations that her husband may have knowingly obstructed the truth behind a brutal crime. Her defense of Danny Masterson, culminating in a recent character letter, has only fueled skepticism, with many questioning whether she is willingly ignoring key details for the sake of preserving reputations. Contradictory testimony. When Ashton Kutcher testified about the night Ashley Ellerin was murdered in 2001, he painted a seemingly straightforward picture. He arrived at her home, looked through a window, and saw what he believed was spilled wine on the floor. He claimed she never answered the door, so he left, assuming she was upset over his tardiness. However, according to allegations from multiple sources, including former Scientologist Bixler and researcher Aaron Smith-Levin, that account may be just the tip of the iceberg. Their claims suggest Ashton actually entered Ashley's home, saw her lying on the floor, and left to call not the police, but Danny Masterson and his management team. This is where the contradictions begin to mount. Ashton testified in court that he never set foot inside Ashley's home, but detectives reportedly found evidence suggesting he did. Furthermore, Bixler says she overheard Ashton, on speakerphone with Danny Masterson, explaining how he discovered Ashley's body. Rather than immediately alerting authorities, Ashton allegedly spent over an hour discussing how best to protect his nascent career. The story about seeing spilled wine from outside was, in this version, a deliberate fabrication meant to minimize his involvement at the crime scene. These alleged lies had tangible consequences. Police investigators knew Ashton's statements were inconsistent with the physical evidence, but their hands were tied. By the time Ashton finally spoke to the authorities, precious hours had passed, hours in which vital clues could have been compromised or lost. What's more, detectives were concerned that Ashton, one of the prosecution's most high-profile witnesses, might unravel their case. If his testimony was proven false in a courtroom, Michael Gargiulo, the actual killer, could exploit that doubt and slip through the cracks. Indeed, Gargiulo went on to strike again before he was ultimately caught and convicted. Critics argue that Ashton's contradictory testimony was about more than just panicking. It was about preserving his own public image. This perceived self-preservation, they say, extended well beyond that night.
The headline of this video is Ashton Kutcher's lies allowed a murderer to kill again.
And may explain why Mila Kunis has staunchly defended him, even after details emerged that appear damning. Some believe Kunis either doesn't know the full story or is willing to overlook it to protect their tight-knit Hollywood brand. Regardless of her motivations, the fact remains that Ashton's shifting account attracted the spotlight and harsh moral judgments. Impact on the prosecution. The impact of Ashton Kutcher's alleged actions on the prosecution of Ashley Ellerin's killer has become a hotly debated topic, particularly in light of recent revelations and renewed interest in the case. According to multiple sources, including former Scientologist Bixler and researcher Aaron Smith-Levin, Ashton's purported dishonesty the night Ashley was murdered introduced significant complications for law enforcement. As these accounts go, Ashton was far more involved in discovering Ashley's body than he initially claimed, and that discrepancy reportedly allowed Michael Gargiulo, dubbed the Hollywood Ripper, to evade immediate prosecution. By Ashton's public testimony, he knocked on Ashley's door back in 2001, peeked through a window, and left upon seeing what he thought was spilled wine. However, according to Bixler, she heard an hour-long phone call in which Ashton allegedly admitted he'd actually entered the house and seen Ashley's body. Instead of calling the police right away, he is said to have phoned his management and Danny Masterson, seeking advice on how to handle the situation without damaging his career. Claims Ashton was ultimately told to leave, attend the Grammys after-party alone, and later concoct a version of events that minimized his involvement. From a law enforcement perspective, these alleged distortions of the truth proved detrimental. Levin asserts that LAPD detectives recognized Ashton's story didn't align with the physical evidence, such as the position of Ashley's body and the sightlines from the window. Detectives reportedly deduced that he wouldn't have been able to see the spilled wine from outside. Furthermore, if Ashton's fingerprints were at the scene, yet he testified he never entered the house, that dishonesty introduced a measure of reasonable doubt that smart defense attorneys could exploit. Indeed, Gargiulo went on to kill again before finally being caught and convicted, and critics argue that this delay in justice might have been prevented had Ashton immediately alerted police and provided accurate information. Even though Ashton has never been accused of murder, his allegedly false statements lasted for years, casting a shadow over the prosecution's ability to swiftly build a solid case. As a result, Mila Kunis's unwavering support of Ashton has also fallen under scrutiny, with online observers questioning whether she is aware of the full extent of these allegations. The lingering public outcry centers on whether Ashton's alleged actions inadvertently hindered law enforcement's efforts, potentially costing additional lives. Unless Ashton addresses these claims head-on and provides evidence refuting them, questions about his role in complicating the prosecution of Ashley Ellerin's killer are likely to remain unanswered. Connection to Scientology and Danny Masterson. The connection between Ashton Kutcher, Danny Masterson, and Scientology has taken center stage in the ongoing debate over what may have really happened on the night Ashley Ellerin was killed, and how Mila Kunis's defense of Ashton has further inflamed public opinion. Critics argue that Ashton's phone call to Danny Masterson after discovering Ashley's body was less about seeking help and more about protecting his burgeoning career, a tactic allegedly advised by Masterson, a longtime Scientologist and Ashton's friend from That 70s Show. Their conversation, according to former Scientologist Bixler, lasted over an hour, during which Ashton purportedly decided to leave Ashley's house and attend a party rather than alert the authorities. Scientology's reputed culture of secrecy has only intensified speculation that Masterson was able to exert considerable influence over Ashton's decision-making that night. Masterson has faced his own legal troubles, including recent convictions for sexual assault, and Ashton's unwavering support for him, along with Mila Kunis's public endorsement, has prompted many to wonder whether Masterson is safeguarding damaging information about the Ellerin case. Some former Scientologists have hinted that Ashton's association with the church, through Masterson, created a safety net, shielding him from consequences for any alleged dishonesty in his testimony regarding Ashley's death. Aaron Smith Levin, who runs a channel focused on Scientology issues, has presented detailed accounts of Ashton's alleged lies, attributing some information to former Scientologists close to Ashton and to LAPD detectives with direct knowledge of the investigation. These sources claim Ashton's fingerprints were at the crime scene, contradicting his official statement that he never entered Ashley's home. If true, critics say the false testimony introduced complications in prosecuting Michael Gargiulo, the serial killer responsible for Ashley's murder, ultimately allowing Gargiulo to strike again before he was finally caught. Mila Kunis's continued endorsement of Ashton, despite these serious allegations, has fueled questions about her own moral judgment, especially given her recent support for Masterson. By aligning herself with both Ashton and Danny in the face of mounting evidence, critics contend that Mila's support perpetuates a culture of silence and denial surrounding Scientology's potential reach. As long as key witnesses and former Scientologists continue to come forward. However, the connection between Scientology, Danny Masterson, and Ashton's possible cover-up is unlikely to fade from public view. Until Ashton and Mila address these accusations head-on, the controversy will remain a stain on their reputations, leaving many to wonder whether the truth about Ashley Ellerin's tragic death will ever be fully revealed. Calls for legal action. Calls for legal action have grown increasingly louder as more people learn about Ashton Kutcher's alleged conduct on the night Ashley Ellerin was brutally murdered. Critics, including former Scientologists like Bixler and researcher Aaron Smith Levin, have stepped forward with detailed claims that Ashton lied in his testimony during the murder investigation. Mila Kunis, who has publicly defended Ashton in the past, has also faced criticism for standing by him amid these damaging allegations. Both Chrissy and Aaron have issued a clear challenge. If their statements are untrue, Ashton should sue them for defamation. What do you think about BYD's latest supercharger? Do share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click on the following video showing